All right, Paycast Network brought to you by Cutter at MWAA 2026. We have a very special guest, Rod Katzfey, the, what's your title again at this thing?
Just janitor.
The janitor of MWAA. No.
Janitor.
For those of you that somehow don't know, Rod is the president of MWAA, also a very good friend of the program.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
We are, at this point, Rod, we're probably halfway through, not halfway, in the beginning of the second day.
Sure.
How do you think it's gone so far?
I think it's been amazing. I just did a LinkedIn post earlier. The crowd has been great. Everybody's talking about all the people last night in the opening reception, which is always is a big draw for us. But the support, I talked about it yesterday. Really, when we opened in the opening remarks, is people are making an investment. Our sponsors are making an investment in our people. Our people are making an investment in their time to learn and network, and one of the things I don't know if you were in there or who was in there, but one of the things I challenged people with was to not hang around with the same people you always come with, but introduce yourself, find 5 new people, do those types of things, because I think sometimes when you come to these conferences, you become a zombie in some senses. You just walk and this is about networking. Mm-hmm. This is about creating that energy. And we had a lot of energy yesterday. Today is right now is the breakfast with the exhibitors, and it'll roll into lunch. So now is when you get to walk around, see people, meet people, product and things, and then we're going to go into the learning part of our session, which will be 4 sessions this afternoon after lunch. Some great topics, some great speakers. And then more networking, and then we'll do the closing. But that's a long-winded answer.
Yeah, that's what we expect from you, Rod.
That's a long-winded answer to your question, but no, I mean it's very exciting. Great energy, and I'm tired. Just to be honest.
Hey, Rod, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So Damon West, your keynote speaker yesterday, was fantastic.
Yes.
I got a chance to be in the room and see it. It was one of the best keynote speeches I've seen in all my shows. Awesome.
Sure.
So next year is the Big 25. So talk about that. What are you looking to accomplish next year with the keynote speech?
Yeah, we're gonna do 25. We're gonna do it even bigger than this year. Every year we break records, and I've actually already challenged the board that I would love for us to have a woman speaker next year for a keynote. We've tried over the last couple of years, and it just didn't work out. But I'm really gonna push hard for us to find that dynamic. Knock it out of the park, woman speaker. Because we're expanding our partnerships with Paytech Women. We're expanding with Fintech Atlanta and Midwest Fintech. Midwest Fintech was started by a couple of ladies here in the Chicago area. So again, I just want to see us continue to grow, and I think that would be a memorable thing for us, in that respect. So if anybody, I'm going to use the Paycast Network.
Go ahead.
If anybody knows, a dynamic woman speaker that, and again, we're not looking for somebody who's in the payment space. I want somebody who has a different story, like you were talking about with Damon, and his story was amazing.
Amazing.
But we want somebody who can tell a story and have a real life experience that other people from our space, being payments and fintech, they can relate and apply that to their story.
Very good.
So
you mentioned growth and records. Let's talk attendance for this year.
We have 500 people here this year.
That's not bad.
We're excited.
Not bad.
Wow, 500. I think there were 500 in the room last night.
We were actually over 16.
Nice.
Over 16 yesterday,
And that's a record.
which is a record.
Nice.
There was 1390 last year. So thank you. It takes a huge team. For us, and I was actually just talking to Lydia. For those of you who may not know Lydia, she and my wife Tracy hijacked this space.
Yes.
So go check that out on Facebook and
It's on the
LinkedIn.
Paycast Facebook and LinkedIn.
Welcome, Lydia, to Paycast.
Thank you for having me, Tracy.
Yes.
Excited to be here.
Here we are at MWAA 2026.
Oh my God, we
crazy,
did it again.
Crazy we're here already. Isn't it?
Everything, but anyway, just talking to Lydia, and one of the things that we do a really good job is we actually try to get all the registrants in advance, because that way it reduces the line, it reduces anything that's happening here. We do the promotional codes. Paycast had theirs. We have the discounted ones. We've got all these different things. So we don't see as much walk in. I mean, there was 72 people yesterday that
Just showed
that
up.
registered.
Yeah, just showed
so,
up.
Oh, wow.
you know,
Wow.
we still got today.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's again, thank you to you guys for your support. But I have a question for you.
Oh boy,
Okay,
here we
hit
go.
me.
You know, we challenged you to come to MLS
Yep.
Yeah.
and do a live podcast.
Yep.
Yeah.
A live show,
Which I was part of.
which you were part
Yeah,
of.
It was exciting.
Obviously, you were part of.
Yeah.
I got to see a little bit of it.
Yeah.
But I was running around on the rest. But how did that go, guys?
I think
Yeah.
I'll let you go first from your perspective.
I'll tell you, as a panelist, it was an honor. It was exciting to get to share my knowledge with the next generation, because that's why I do what I do.
Sure.
At this stage of my career, I'm wanting to help the next generation. And so to get to be on the panel in Chicago on the Miracle Mile was awesome. It was an awesome turnout. I thought it did really well. Steve did a great job as a host. Angela did awesome with the women's panel. So it was great. It was great.
For us, it in the space that we're in, and you may or may not be surprised by this, there's a group of people that just because they're not podcast people and they don't really consume media in the way that is kind of happening now, I often run into apprehension about just, oh, you're a podcast, what is a podcast, where do I even listen to a podcast?
Yeah.
But podcasts in every other field do things like live streams. They do other types of content.
Yep.
So we appreciate you being, I mean, ever since I met you, you've been very open to this type of media. I think you see the value in it.
Absolutely.
And we obviously see the value in you allowing us to do this and allowing us to do that specific thing. Obviously, no one has given us the opportunity to do that up until now.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
that type of thing, like we kind of talked about yesterday, we're an education platform. And that's just another way for us to bring really, really valuable education to our audience, and in a way that obviously we like to have Ian edit things, but we like to be raw and realistic and authentic. That's one of our main themes. And you can't get any more authentic than this is live streamed.
This
Like
is
we are
going
not
live.
editing this
Right,
at all.
right,
It's
right,
happening as
right.
you're talking.
Yeah,
Ian didn't have to do his job.
Let's,
Ian, you're
let's ask
done.
Ian about
You're
that.
done, Ian. Ian is done.
One of Ian's most stressful days of his life, but it works. So
Yeah, oh yeah.
we appreciate you pushing and allowing us to do that.
Yeah, it
And
was awesome.
It went great. I mean, as with everything, it was the first one. I think there's things that we can improve on, but it's streamed.
It's streamed.
It's on YouTube.
That
Well,
was the key.
and I think you
Yeah.
hit on,
Yep.
you know, if you think about, you know, I look back at Midwest over the years, and we had obviously this conversation on one of the podcasts, and obviously a lot of people have seen the one that Steven and I did, and then the one you and I did by itself, and what I try to remind people is you can't just explode overnight.
Yeah.
If you do,
Yeah.
it's not sustainable.
yeah.
Right?
Yep.
It's not sustainable. So I think back, I'll just use MLS since you were on that. If I think back to 4 years ago when MLS started, it started in it started in a small room at Schaumburg, right?
Yeah.
And there was probably 20 people there.
Yeah.
You know, and then
Yep.
when we came from Schaumburg and we came over here,
Yeah.
we had it on the 6th floor, and there might have been 35 or 40 people.
Yeah.
And then we said, okay, well, let's take it to the next level. Let's bring it to the
Yeah.
general session, the main stage. And last year,
Yeah.
you know, the room was full.
Yeah.
Same thing this year.
Yeah.
So what I would say for your specifically around your podcast is that's a first one.
Yeah.
Some people are going to be like, well, why didn't I see that, or I didn't know, right? So
Yeah.
you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you as an organization now can look and say, okay. And I asked you right afterward, how did it go? And you were already telling me, well, we think we can do this better, we can do this better, we can do this better.
Yep.
Again, that's learning,
Right.
Yeah.
right? That's what we do in the show too.
Yeah.
It's always about moving forward.
Yeah.
And you next year, if we let you come back,
Yeah.
Wink, 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 wink.
I don't know. It sounds like there's a negotiation that's
Oh,
going to
here-
happen.
it
That
sounds
was a
like
whole other
Hey,
story yesterday.
hey, here we go.
I mean, let me just share with the audience. You know,
Oh, boy.
Chad was talking about an exclusive. You know, kind of like what we do with the. If anybody knows the Exectress,
Oh, my
we
goodness.
did a partnership with Exectress on this healthcare
Yeah.
product and everything. We have a 2-year exclusive on that.
Yep.
And again,
Yep.
we're not trying to prevent the other associations from
Yeah.
being a part of it. but we want to be the leaders of it, drive it out there, and then in a couple of years they can embrace it and everything as well. So the conversation was around, so you want an exclusive on that? And I'm like, well, sure. He goes, well, that might cost you. I say, oh, okay. And I said, well, how much is it going to be? I never got a number.
You didn't get a number.
But the way the conversation ended, I said, well, this space you have here at our show, it's probably going to cost you the same amount that sponsorship is going to be for an exclusive. So it's
not going to cost that much anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't that amazing how the price went down?
Right.
But also to preface, that's how most of Rod and I's conversations go.
That's right.
There's a sponsor tie-in somehow and everything.
But again, because we all have to promote what we're trying to do.
Right.
We all there's bills, there's overhead, and there's everything. And congratulations on Cutter.
Thank you.
And getting your sponsorship for Cutter. Obviously Cutter's been a big supporter of Midwest, and we're glad to see them as part of you. But let me tie this full circle about growing and all that. Is you start out, you build a foundation. Executive Forum, same thing for us. It started in small, and now it's grown. This year I think there was probably 150 RSVPs, and there was probably 70 plus people that showed up, and that people's schedules changed or whatever. But it's not about quantity; it was about quality.
Right.
I want the right people in the room, just like you want the right people watching it. But part of our selfish reason we wanted the podcast is we also want those folks that did watch it. We want them here next year.
Right.
Yeah.
So that you can have a new set of folks watching the podcast.
Right.
Because we want them in the room, right?
Yeah.
And that's no different with Midwest Fintech. We started with them this year downstairs, their membership group here in the Midwest. They had, I think they had about 55 people. That was their first thing with us, 55 people downstairs.
Yeah.
So now we're going to look at it and say, okay, can we bring them back? Do we expand that or keep them in the same space, or do we find a way to bring them upstairs? Paytech Women, same thing. We brought them upstairs. They did a networking. So what we try to do is we want to start small and help people grow, because you don't want to intimidate, right? You get too many. You get a few people in a very large room. Now it doesn't look like it was successful. You put a few people in a smaller room. And now all of a sudden people are like, well, I couldn't even get in the door. Right. During the opening remarks in the keynote, it was completely full. People were standing in the hallways. But that's what we want. Right.
All right, I have one last question, and then I'm going to pull out the trivia.
Okay.
So you've already touched on a couple of them, the
trivia,
the new sessions in the stream, obviously. But we have a lot of conversations about you experimenting with new things at every show and trying to kind of push the envelope. Other than the two things we've already mentioned, how are the other new experimentations going at this conference? Anything failed?
Of course not. Not this. No, not that we're going to talk about. But I also talked about it yesterday. We're not afraid of trying things,
right?
And we're not afraid of failing. To me, actually, failure is learning.
Failure's good.
Failure is learning. To anything specific, I don't think so.
The two we mentioned are the two main.
So we brought Paytech Women, the partnership. They did amazing. They had their networking. Midwest Fintech had amazing. The MLS forum. I think and then we've got Fintech Atlanta sitting on a panel this afternoon.
Nice.
So we haven't experienced those. They'll knock it out the park as well. But I can't complain about this show at all.
Good. You guys have done a great job.
This has been a really good show. The only thing I can complain about is that you don't lock your booth down and keep people from getting on your set. Claiming that I got a trivia question wrong.
Okay, don't get mad at me because your wife said you got a trivia question wrong. But
I actually told her that I was going to bring her on here, and Lydia Bo. I know, but she's disappeared, of course. I said retribution will be fun.
But here's the thing, Rod. I'm going to give you a little peek into the content game. If I can get content from this booth that I don't have to do anything, that's a win for me.
No.
It's a win-win.
Honestly, and Jason, you weren't around, but I thought it was so funny because we were talking about another trivia question, and she walks in, and we were joking about something, and she starts laughing and smiling, and I'm like, what's going on? She says, well, there might be some content out there in the picture.
Yeah, she's like, you'll get it later.
And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Okay.
So I know he won't give me this trivia question. I already answered another trivia question.
I asked someone else
Monday.
that one. That one was too easy.
I know, but I answered it for him on Monday, and Tracy actually did it too.
He told me a trivia question to ask him, and then he's like, I got it right.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
You were the one that said that.
That's awesome.
No.
You said, why is Chicago called the Windy City? And I said, well, I already know that.
No, you asked me if I knew why, and I said, it's a trivia
Well,
question.
and you gave me that question on our one-on-one yesterday after the show. If you remember, that was our question.
Yeah, it was you I asked that
question.
And
I had no idea the answer
really?
to that.
The politician?
I didn't know that.
No, actually, it's Stephen Morris.
It's Stephen Morris.
Ever since we started coming to Chicago, they changed their name and stuff.
Yeah, right.
So,
all right, what do you got? What do you ready?
While you're looking for your trivia, I'm going to ask you guys a question.
Yes, sir.
So you've had other people on here, obviously talking about our show. I mean, what are you hearing? Tell me the feedback that you're getting.
Good question.
So that how we can improve and how we can do better.
Yeah.
Because we're just as much a sponge as you are.
So what I have gotten most is that, and they say this in a positive light, this show is very intimate, which makes people more comfortable to network. If that makes sense.
No, absolutely.
I think it has a lot to do with how you set it up.
It is.
But also just the space that you're in when it's kind of a bigger room and you walk in and it's just a massive crowd. I think that can be a little intimidating. Does that make sense?
And I'll tell you this too, Rod. This is actually my first MWAA. I've never been to a show. No, I've always gone to the
welcome.
I've always been to the SCAA and the Western because I'm in Phoenix.
Absolutely.
And I would agree with him. This is more of an intimate setting than the SCAA and the Western. So I like the vibe of this one. Now, this is the nicest host. I mean, we're on Michigan Avenue. So as a first-time attendee, this is awesome.
He's pretty spoiled. First time here, he's on the
I know.
panel.
We'll be here. We'll be here again next year.
Yeah.
And then in 28, we recently announced we will be down the street at the Hilton.
The Hilton.
So our exhibit floor will go from 17,000 to 24,000 square feet.
Nice.
And then our general session will actually grow to about 9,000.
Okay.
And the Hilton is a late 18, early 1900s property. It does have running water, but the nice thing about that property is it's from the Gilded age. It's got really cool the marble and so we've been there once. We did our 15-year anniversary there, but we're gonna go back to that.
Nice.
And I think people will like it once we get to 28. I jokingly say we have to get through this property next year only because we are expanding, continuing to grow every single year.
Right.
We need more space. We need the 5th floor general session for general session so we could expand the exhibit hall. But unfortunately, the
so you can
hotels
have three floors there versus two?
No, Hilton will have one. Everything we're going to have on one. So registration will be in the lobby, and then you'll go up, but it'll be across from each other.
Gotcha.
Whereas here, we would really need the 5th floor, which there's an escalator that would give us the general session in that space in another ballroom. But we'll work through it. You know, we still want people to come and join us, and
you'll figure it out.
Everything like that. But any other feedback?
That's all I've gotten so far. I like to ask people, so I'll ask them towards the end of today how the breakouts were. Because, I mean, obviously that's a pretty big
we haven't had those yet.
I'll be interested. Today's where the energy is.
Yeah,
so
I'll be interested to, on the sessions. Again, that's the learning portion, right?
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that we've talked about is, we handpick every single one of those folks as it relates to topic, as it relates to those companies and things like that. And we ask them to approach it from, a general perspective. Hey, they all work for companies, but we don't necessarily want to hear, an infomercial about their company.
We don't want to hear that either.
Right.
Which I have to commend you. I don't remember, was it you I was talking to about this yesterday?
Yeah, we were talking about you at the Cubs game.
Yes, you are.
Hey, at least I'm talking about the Cubs. They lost, right?
They did. I was going to bring that up. They did lose.
And I believe the Cardinals won yesterday, 1-0.
The Cubs lost yesterday.
Yeah.
We were at that
the
game.
Rays won and the Red Sox lost.
But anyway, go ahead and finish your.
You are sorry. You are really great about not pushing your company.
Yes.
If that makes sense, which
Yes.
it is a difficult thing to do when you do hold a high
Yes.
position in a company.
Yes.
But we obviously have talked a bunch of times.
Yeah,
and you've never once been I'm going to sit here and push Pay Compass kind of thing. So,
Yeah, and again, I was actually just having breakfast and we were talking about it this morning, and what I tell people in the sense of, if you are an expert at what you do, and you talk in generalities for people to learn, people are going to come up to you afterwards or find you in the hallway, and they're going to be like, well, tell me about your company.
Ask him about that
or
after
tell
the
me
forum
about,
yesterday.
My goodness.
Yeah, tell us.
Oh, my God. Well, listen, I'm not used to being on that stage, so to have people coming up to me after the forum yesterday was interesting.
Getting flooded.
I was getting flooded with questions and reps and people coming up.
Like
and
you're a public figure now.
It was a lot. And so this might be my last forum.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Well, when we were shutting down the exhibit floor last night, I had a guy walk up to me and he's like, Gail from Paytech Women.
Paytech Women.
I guess he was asking her a question, and she's like, you need to talk to Rod. Rod will be very transparent with you and everything. And I'm like, he's like, well, I'm going to ask you, if you had to restart today, knowing what you know today, and you wanted to be an agent, and you want to, what would you do? And I said, that is not an easy question. I said, I can't just answer that for you. Yeah. I said, because one, I don't know. First of all, I don't know you. We just met. You walked up as we're closing the exhibit floor.
Yep.
I said, number two, I need to understand what your goals are. I need to understand what your security is. What is your focus? Where are you trying to accomplish?
Yeah.
I said, and I'll be very frank with you, but I got to ask you a few more questions than just that.
Yeah.
I said, also, maybe at a different time, huh?
Well,
a little busy right now.
But you know what?
Tearing down.
Yeah, I mean, hell. Yes. Yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah, but I guess my point about that is, and I told him point blank, and I'm sorry if anybody takes offense to this. Not really, but
but
I
you're not.
I will. Is if you have a passion about a certain way and a certain thing, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be good for others.
Yeah.
Right? We all find our niches, and everything is a twist and doing that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's important, is everybody needs to find that niche, and they need to find that. But you should never shove it down somebody's throat on how they should do it.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Now, you should give them your experiences and give them ideas, and they'll find their own way.
Yeah.
And I kind of explained that to him, and he looked at me and he goes, really? He goes, most people would try to shove it down my throat. And I'm like, right, but that's not who I am.
That's not how we do
my
it.
background comes across many, from agent to ISO to processor to corporate, all of I've played in all of those different spaces, as we talked about before.
Yeah.
But I'll have those conversations all day long. So I think he's going to. Then he walked up to me at the party last night. He's like, hey, we're set for Monday, right?
Oh, yeah.
You got my card.
Yeah, here we go.
Call me.
And
that's and I think that's the other thing. I'm willing to help anybody or have those conversations with anybody.
Yeah.
But I also put it back on their plate.
Yeah.
Will they take the initiative
to reach out
to do it?
Yeah.
It's one thing to be in the moment and be about it and stuff like that.
But will you follow up?
But will you follow up?
Correct.
Yeah.
And what I found is the people that follow up are the ones that are very passionate and serious about success.
Very much so.
I mean, I could use that with Scott Jarumbo, who's on our board.
Yeah, board member.
Works for Global. He approached us several years ago.
Yeah.
Applied for an application to join the advisory board. We reviewed it. He'd never been to a show. He had done a lot, a lot of that, and it's like, so how are you going to advise us on a show if you've never experienced it? And so we were very frank, and I went back to him afterwards and I said, Scott, we love you, you're a great person. Unfortunately, we just don't think it's the right fit right now. But go to these shows. Come volunteer for Midwest, the next show, and then apply again next time we have it available. So I believe it was I think it was Western or NEAA. After that, he's at the show and he's like, Rod, I'm here. I'm like, you are.
Initiative.
So first step, right?
Yep.
Step one.
So then,
Yeah.
Then he reaches out to me before the show, and I for our show that next year. Hey, where can I volunteer? Where can I get involved? And so I'm like, hey, help us out. So then, as soon as that show was over, we were filling a couple of spots on advisory board. And he submitted his application, and the board simply said, we're not interviewing him again. He's going on the advisory board. We've already done it. He took the initiative.
Yeah.
He did everything that
made
we
it happen.
asked him to do
Yep.
to get involved. And now, so Scott was on advisory for, I believe it was 2 years, and then now he's been on the main board for 2 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
But that goes back,
Yep.
and you can take that story and put that across the agent channel, put that across an ISO, an ISV,
Great story.
whatever.
Yep.
It's showing up.
Yeah.
It's being focused. It's concentrating, right? And the reason why I share that story, because I want to say that we are a 100% volunteer organization.
Yep.
Midwest will be running a process again this year to add some advisory board members.
Nice.
So if you're passionate about the industry, you're passionate about giving back, again, 100% volunteer.
Yeah.
I would encourage people, once you see on LinkedIn that we put those application process out there, to get involved. And even if you don't want to be on the advisory board, but you want to learn more about the behind the scenes of what it takes, because we just show up.
Yeah, you do
Right?
just
We don't
show up.
do anything.
I've been telling people that.
Chase just shows up. I mean, this nice booth is built. He's got this great guy named Ian that puts everything together, wires it,
Do it
puts,
all.
films it.
Chase does nothing.
Right.
Yeah, I try to show up late actually on
but
purpose.
you know
Like,
what?
Oh, sorry, Ian, you got it all right.
What I find so interesting is the first year a person is on the advisory board, their heads are spinning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And by the second year, it's not spinning as fast.
Yeah, right.
Still spinning.
But for us,
Right.
we use the advisory board as our bench for the board over time.
Right.
Because people are get involved. This is my 24th year with Midwest.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be here forever. I'm going to pass it at some point, but we need that. We need people that will come on and be a part of that, the next generation, the next organization, and stuff like that. So, again, I encourage people, if they want to get involved, and whether it's Midwest or the other regionals, by all means, just get involved.
Yeah.
Just get involved. All right, is it trivia time?
It's trivia time, baby.
And
Y'all ready?
Ian's standing over. I can see him. He's like, how much am I going to have to edit for this?
That is pretty much what he's saying. All right, y'all ready?
All right, here we go.
This is Chicago themed.
All right.
This is for him?
This is for both
Yeah,
of you.
this is for both of us, baby.
He's saying that in case he gets it wrong.
I know. I know,
prepared.
Rod. After watching a few episodes, I know his game.
Okay.
I know how he plays the
Built
game.
in 1885, Chicago's home insurance building is universally recognized by historians as holding what major architectural title?
Is it the Prudential Building?
No, it's called the Chicago's home insurance building. It's recognized by historians by holding what major architectural title?
Title. And you said
In 1885, yes.
Okay.
It held a title of, let me know when you want the
And
hints.
you want the title.
I want the architectural title that historians bestowed upon this building. The world's first modern skyscraper. Yes, in
So
1885.
the first modern skyscraper.
The world's first modern skyscraper.
Was here in Chicago.
Correct.
Wow,
Yes,
okay.
standing at 10 stories tall, it was the first to use a structural steel frame.
So was this the first time the word skyscraper had ever really been used?
I guess, yeah. First
So
modern skyscraper.
no skyscrapers in New York.
Well, this is 1885, so I guess maybe not yet.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right, interesting. All
Yeah.
right.
So my record's still good. I didn't miss
Yeah,
it.
because that was your
That
question.
was my question.
All right. So I have a trivia question for you.
Oh, boy.
All right. So everybody knows at one point in Chicago, the tallest building was called the Sears Tower.
The Sears Tower, correct.
Okay. What is it named today?
The Willis Tower.
The Willis Tower?
Yeah.
Thank you. Round of applause.
Yeah.
And you
The
know
trivia
what?
guy got the trivia right.
I took a walk around
you went?
downtown I thought it was still the Sears Tower.
Yep.
It's no longer the Sears Tower. I did not know that.
What's the second tallest in Chicago?
That is the Hancock.
Nice.
The
And it
Hancock.
also has the observation
Is that
deck
where
that
you
you
can
can
go out?
lean out.
All right,
Yeah.
so that's where that deck is?
Yes.
Okay.
The Willis Tower has the box.
Okay.
So Willis has the box with the
Yeah,
plexiglass
the
glass
Oh, is that
floor
the box? Okay.
that people will sit on,
Yeah,
look
which-
over, and some people are like, oh hell.
Which I will not be
I've
doing.
Yeah.
done it. You know what's crazy? I've done it,
Yeah.
and you're so high up you can't see the ground.
can't
so
see
the
it's
ground.
not.
Oh, yeah.
You
So
don't
it's
really
not that
feel like
bad?
that. No,
Okay.
not really.
All right.
Now the
All
leaning
right.
one,
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't done that.
Yeah, the
one.
leaning one, forget it.
Yep. All right,
Well-
Rod. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
always.
Thanks,
Rod,
guys.
thank you, brother.
Jason,
Appreciate you
appreciate
being
it as
here.
always.
We really do. Thank you. And I guess we'll have to see
Yeah.
if we can come to terms on next year.
negotiations.
Yeah, right,
We
the
should do
negotiating.
negotiating on the podcast.
podcast.
Yeah, that'd
And
be
by
great.
the way, if anybody hasn't seen that one with my wife, this is Chase.
We
Chase.
might put that one. on
And
the
she
YouTube.
said she wishes she would have called it Baby Chase.
Baby
She
Chase.
does
But
say
I would
that.
encourage you to put that
I might put it
on
on the YouTube. I love
because
it,
yeah.
it is hilarious.
It's great. It was
but
great.
don't believe everything you hear at the end
Yeah.
of that
Yeah.
because I did not get that question wrong.
My favorite part about Rod's Paycast Network episode was when he got an answer wrong. It was one answer, Tracy. I know, but it made me very happy.
All right, Rod. Thank you.
Thank you.
As
Thank
always,
you, Rod.
Jason. Thank you.
What was that? That was like, what, 7 minutes?
I was going to say, wasn't that supposed to be 10 minutes?
It's like dinner time.